Welcome to Millennial Housewife Stay Sane as a Stay-at-Home Mom interview series where we are showing stay-at-home moms that we are all in this together. We are strong, smart, and savvy and just trying to figure out what it means to have it all. I'm Tesse, and today I'm interviewing Jasmine Hewitt of Love, Life, Laugh, Motherhood. Jasmine is a wife and stay-at-home mom to a beautiful little boy, Bruce. She's also been a human mom to her Russian blue kitty, Dimitri Hewitt, for 2.5 years or 25 cat years. And her husband, Ryan, is a former Marine. She began vlogging in late March of 2016 as an attempt to keep herself awake during nighttime feedings. While reading others' blogs and articles, she started thinking about what she would write about if she ever became brave enough to try. Well, one night, she decided to try. She loves writing about her fears and realizations as a first-time mom, how she builds up and maintains her marriage, and sometimes some of the things she experienced during different phases of life. She also enjoys writing about her favorite products for babies and everyone else, and things she has either never tried before or absolutely swears by. So welcome, Jasmine.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a stay-at-home mom?
Well, me and my husband were going through a transitional phase. He was about to go to Russia for 5 months for a study abroad program with his college. And I had started a job, but we were about to move, and I came up pregnant. So I decided to actually quit my job and go ahead and move while he was abroad so that we could just kind of join together when he came back. And I have just stayed at home ever since. I had my son a week after we moved into our new place. So.
Wow. That must have been a very busy time for you.
That was my original due date was about 3 days from our moving date. So luckily I had to be induced. He was a week late, but that was scary.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't even imagine. So then do you consider yourself a millennial housewife, and why?
I'm going to date myself. I'm actually a Gen X. I'm not quite millennial, by about 2 years. Um, but I think some of the things that I do as a housewife would be considered a more millennial housewife when you compare it to the more stereotypical housewives of the past, especially like during the 50s and 60s era, or even the 80s and 90s, like our parents. So, in some ways, yes, I probably am. In a lot of ways, I'm probably a lot more traditional. I kind of keep the home fires burning while my husband is out working. Some very traditional gender roles, but we don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Millennial can be, just even, you can be a millennial in your heart, and the millennial time frame is kind of varying, so you might actually fall within that millennial time frame. But it also is just a state of being, like you said, and kind of, you don't have to necessarily be a millennial and fall within that time frame. So that's great. Yeah, I love, and being a housewife can be, more of the traditional roles as well. So that's great. So what does your daily schedule kind of look like then?
We get up bright and early every day. My son, he is 19 months old, so he's still in a somewhat baby phase, but not quite toddler. We're getting there. So most of the morning is spent getting him fed, getting him dressed, keeping him entertained. Nap time is when I do most of my work on my blog. And we try to fit in housework here and there wherever we can. And then, of course, daddy comes home at night. We do family time. And then wee hours in the morning, I can get back to whatever I haven't accomplished during the day. So we keep a pretty flexible schedule, but routines are everything. And my son does fall in within a certain routine and he does thrive on it.
Yeah, definitely. Routines are important, I've found too. But like you said, you also do have to have some flexibility with that as well. So that's definitely important. So what is your favorite thing about being a stay-at-home mom?
I really enjoy the time I get to spend with my son. I think it is really important, especially during the early months and years, that you are able to bond and you're able to create that strong bond between a mother and a child. So that was one of the definitive things that made me decide to go ahead and just stay at home and not go back into the workplace. And for us, I think it just works a lot better. Him not being in daycare has cut down dramatically on things like getting sick and being exposed to germs and stuff like that. and we just have a stronger bond. So that is definitely one of the highlights of being a stay-at-home mom. You only get this short amount of time for a little bit of time, and you never get it back. So at least for until he goes to school, I can cherish these few years we have together where it's just me and him.
Yeah, I think that's so sweet. That's so important. That's the big part of the reason why I decided to do it too. So I'm really happy that you were able to make that work and to do that. And we talk about how being a stay-at-home mom isn't always like rainbows and unicorns. So what do you struggle with as a stay-at-home mom?
I would think it would probably be the monotony of the day-to-day routine. Um, Honestly, you get bored doing a pile of laundry every day and doing the same dishes every day, or even having to watch the same Peppa Pig cartoon every day. So I think it's important, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom, really any mother, but especially if you're stay-at-home, you need to change it up. You need to be able to go out, have different activities, have different projects you're working on, especially if you get that alone time where he's going to be down for a nap for like 2 hours. That's what I really like about my blog. I'm able to work on something different every day. And it gives me that little bit of extra to look forward to, encompassed by those daily routine activities and being a wife. The monotony is probably the hardest part.
Definitely. Yes, I hear you there. There's a lot of dishes and a lot of laundry and those things that you just kind of have to do every day. So then that you kind of talked on this a little bit, right? Then, so what kind of advice would you give to other stay-at-home moms then?
Just change it up as much as you can. Find if dedicate 15 minutes a day to something new, then try it. New book. If you have to watch a new Netflix TV show, I admit I binge. If that's what it takes to change up and get something new into your routine, then do it. You can pick up another craft, pick up a new hobby, even if it's just take the kids for a walk around the block every day. Do something different. It's something that you can look forward to and something you can have fun with. Even if it's just for 15 minutes, that 15 minutes will change your entire outlook.
I love that. That's great advice. I'm going to try that. 15 minutes of just changing something up every day. I love it. So one theme that is common on Millennial Housewife is having it all. So do you believe you can have it all? And how do you define having it all?
I think your definition of having it all, of course, it varies with each person, but I think that is the key that you have to figure out for yourself. What is having it all? Do I have a wonderful husband in marriage? Yes. Do I have a beautiful, healthy little boy? Yes. We have a stable roof over our heads. We have food on the table. I think those are the key things. And if that's defining having it all, then yes, we have it all. Is my house completely spotless every day? No. Do I call a friend back every time they give me a phone call or a text? Probably not automatically. But my I guess philosophy would say is nobody can be 100% perfect. You cannot have flawless makeup, a spotless house, a happy husband, a healthy child, and run a business. Something's going to fall somewhere. That day where you're making, let's say, because a lot of my friends work at home moms, let's say you have 100 orders come in, you send 100 orders out, you make $1,000 that week, and the kid is happy and healthy. Well, you're going to have dishes in the sink. Somewhere something is going to fall through. Your husband might feel a little neglected because you have 4 articles to publish in a week. Somewhere something is going to fall out. But if you have happiness, health, and stability, then you have it all. And that's all you really need to worry about.
Oh, I love that. I think that's so right. You're right on. That's so important. Just, those basic necessities, and then everything else is kind of icing on the cake from there. So I think that's really wonderful. Thank you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your blog then?
Well, like you mentioned earlier, I started doing this literally as a way to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a breastfeeding cluster feeder. I just kind of needed something to wake me up and kind of keep me going through the night. So I got out a phone and I just started writing. And this was after reading a lot of different blogs over the years and just thinking, I would have said this a different way, or, you know, this is what I thought about this. So I just started typing it all out, and eventually it just grew. And I always knew from the start I wanted to write about being a mom, because this was a new experience. And I said, you know, there's got to be other people right out there that are just at the same spot in life that I am. My only main goal really with my blog was that if one article that I wrote reached one person and it helped them in some kind of way, that was enough for me. It eventually just branched out into being a wife for the first time and trying this whole marriage thing out for the first time. And then I started getting into products. One thing that I really promote is cloth diapers. We do cloth diapers here. And my son doesn't have issues, but a lot of my friends do, with skin irritation and allergies and stuff like that. So I really, really promote cloth diapers, and I help a lot of people try to find a fit that works for them, a brand that works, and just kind of get through, like, you know, laundry and stuff like that. So that's what kind of started my product reviews, were just reviewing some of the things that I really did like. And it just kind of branched out from there. So I enjoy writing about baby products. I write about beauty products for moms and other women. That's the stuff that we're into. And that's the main thing that I really like about the flexibility of my blog, is being able to try out different things, and being able to advise people. And at least with my experience, I'm not a professional in any way, but if I can tell you my experience, it might be similar to your experience. So that's really what encompasses my blog, are things and topics that people can relate to, not just moms, and it goes to dads.
Yeah, I think it's great. I love your blog. It's a really beautiful blog, and it has a lot of really valuable information in there. So everyone should definitely check it out. So, so tell us then where we can find you online.
You can find me now at lovelifelaughtmotherhood.com. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All of the links are right there on the main page, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
Okay, wonderful. And I'll also put a link to your blog and all of your social media accounts underneath here and on my blog as well. So, so thank you so much, Jasmine, for being here. This was a really wonderful interview, and you shared some very, very valuable information for other stay-at-home moms. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Thank you for having me. I really had a lot of fun with it, and we should do it again.
Definitely. Thank you.